Well, first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from the Superdome. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Throwing on the first play is Corral. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, these two teams, they met in New Orleans earlier in the year with the Saints coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in New Orleans to complete the season sweep. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
nah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Corral. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now Corral, 3rd and 2. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. It's the fullback with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Kamara. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Kamara up the middle. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. Over the middle, it's complete.
He's got room at the 30. He's still on his feet. Touchdown!
A big play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Saints are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7.
That ties the game at 7.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Up the gut, McCaffrey.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 61 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Corral sets up play action.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will slide down with a good gain. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second down and 7. Now it's Watson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the gun, here's Watson. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
To try again after the sack. Watson eluding the pressure right to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
And his kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And this is going to be a Panthers 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 103 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Switching it up, Corral will throw here. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Ian Thomas, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, 24. Hey, we got to snap it. We got to snap it.
Watson off play action. Being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Watson now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Play action here. Corral out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thomas. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. In motion, the tight end. On first down, this is McCaffrey. 109 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. The last run got 6, now second and 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on second and 4. Corral on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. That time they're able to bottle him up, and he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
But, Charles, that's something that this league has only seen a little over 20 times in its 100-year history. He comes through with a 60-yard field goal.
And I'm just wondering, does he even believe it yet? Has it sunk in? Let's face it, guys dream about this. They think about it. They practice for it. But for it to actually happen, impressive. What a kick.
At their own 18-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. There's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams would take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Second down and 4. Corral. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That's good.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Watson.
Trying to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far. Try to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. Play action. Here's Corral.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Meanwhile, Corral's throw taken in by Bourne.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Corral on 3rd and goal.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Brian Burns. What a play by him. That's a loss of 17.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Off the play fake. Here's Corral.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, here's Corral.
Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23.
Saints 10.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. He's at the 40. The 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Saints.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe you're like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it, and you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone, and that's exactly why he did.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
133 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
On third down, Corral.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Corral to throw, 1st and 10.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Touchdown, Carolina! Kendrick Bourne, 32 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Panthers 40, Saints 16.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And
now Watson throws another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Back to throw, Corral.
He's going to look deep for more. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On third down, here's Corral.
And he knocked Backs the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Elsewhere, NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter now in Tennessee. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. To throw is Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Number 22.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Corral. trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Watson. And he comes back with one complete.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To the air yet again, Watson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Give him 30 yards there.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Burns picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now it's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Watson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they look to finish strong in this 4th quarter. And this is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And they will take over 1st and 10. Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. The Broncos, they're just pouring it on in that one. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Again, Watson to keep it.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Anderson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Watson now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. His throw incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Watson.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Watson looks to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Watson. Touchdown, Saints. From 6 yards away.
And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And it looks like the Panthers hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And they take a knee.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends in under